You're watching Camnet TV, not just another channel. Welcome to our news. The headlines. 228,000 additional doses of ASTRAZENECA vaccine arrive in Zambia. 50 Lusaka business operators loot trading licenses for defying COVID-19 guidelines. Opposition political parties downplay the new opinion poll, tipping the PF to win the elections. In international news, ZUMA claims sending him to jail at his age is equivalent to a death sentence. And in sports news, Charles ZULU pens a 2-year deal with AZAM FC. For the details, join me shortly after this break.
Zambia has embarked on an economic journey for individual financial emancipation, empowering its citizens through land acquisition and developing the nation through agriculture. This time, Zambians are coming together, taking it upon themselves with the help of government to develop this great nation by taking individual responsibility and ownership of this great nation. The economic revolution has started. There are thousands of Zambians with a can-do mindset who are resolute, unstoppable, full of confidence and conviction that Zambia's set time of favor for development is now. Don't be left out. This could be the time you have been waiting for. Camnet Television, in conjunction with the United Agrivision Consultancy Limited, will be hosting a national conference on becoming a millionaire through agriculture. Date 1st October and 2nd October 2021. Charges 750 kwacha per person per day, that includes lunch. A limited number of participants through Zoom have also been reserved. You can also be part of the conference from the comfort of your home by registering online via Zoom, joining the people who were born for greatness. Charges for participation via Zoom are only 300 kwacha per person. Time 0730 hours to 17 hours. Registration and confirmation of attendance will take place on the 29th of September 2021. Time 14 hours to 17 hours. Venue the Healing Word Ministries International, the home of Camnet Television in Apex Hill, Kabulonga Road, Lusaka.
With the details, my name is Liseli Kanyanga Mubanga. Residents of Kamanga compound in Zambia's capital city, Lusaka, have reiterated their call on authorities to reconstruct the police station, which they demolished during a riot in the wake of an increase in crime levels. On the 27th of September 2020, Kamanga residents rioted and damaged a police post after a 17-year-old boy was shot dead by the police. In an interview with Camnet News Monday morning, the residents regret their conduct and they have since appealed to the Ministry of Home Affairs to come to their aid. More in the following report.
Since 27 September 2020, when a police post in Kamanga compound of Lusaka was damaged by the residents following riots as a result of shooting of a 17-year-old boy, the area has remained without a police post. People of Kamanga have called on government to rehabilitate a police post in order to reduce crime levels.
Put it like a 30-minute walk away thing. But even so, I feel like they don't come around and but how would I put it? They don't come, they don't come here patrolling, getting to know the people's demands and whatnot. Instead, we have a lot of cases that side. Yes, and I think the aim of them is all about money and their services to feed their bellies and their tummies, and not getting to assess and get to know the people's demands.
The residents here say it is hard to carry out day-to-day activities without fear of being attacked.
Police ifunga iberere majanki mativuta kuno kwa Kamanga kuno. Ela munzi ni ukulu sunga yuko kana police. Ojoka ku Obama, ojoka ku Chiten ku Foxdale. Police ifunga iberere ngati swanelete hapa wasange ko ipereka kwa mninga nkalire police. Tapapata. Majanki mativuta ojoka kumanga tusiku sunga ende kapepa bagi wa kutompola. Ela bochite kachabe ni pambili chabe. Makamaka tenda kumavoti hapa police ngati kulibe. Tizakala wesi manje bana mwakamanga kutema na myala itabani police matitandizira.
Others have appealed to government to come to their aid because they no longer feel safe.
But you go up, Sankara Javakuda, Bankara Javan, Ramana Konkala Mora Boma. Also, Konkala Mora Boma, Rachita Vava Mutumao. Pamina by the police, Tifuna, or Majatism, Romatani Tifuna, and Yakuti, Ramana Sabo, Konkala Mora Bom.
Blessings Chakwila, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Some residents of Solwezi district in northwestern province of Zambia at Maseja Market have called on the state-owned power utility company ZESCO to work on the electricity poles, which are posing a danger to the traders and consumers. One of the poles has been on the ground since Thursday, the 1st of July 2021. The traders are fearful that they may be electrocuted. More in this report.
The importance of markets in any given society cannot be overemphasized. Messenger Market in Solwezi district of northwestern Zambia is a vital location where buying and selling takes place. However, from the challenge of sanitation, they are now faced with another issue where an electric pole has fallen to the ground, thus posing serious threats to the traders and consumers, and most of the poles are in a bad state.
Messenger Market keva tapo mana vazezi kone ave vichi vya karasaka tukiange nekusemwane so rero kyapona kyashachifone nengane vantu keva nakutako mana ne vazezi kone nakukinja vichine vanhu vichi amapovi apo anyi ko vichi vazezi kone kuda kutako mana nangwa kumazuo keva pita kone kuchekinga nekuti vyakara vya miaka nemyaka vyashire vakambi makara ne vanshindo so keva itako mana nakuyena kuitu moyena kone rero kwasha kufwenga muntu na malaiti kichi kyapona mwitutenga ko mana natetu ivantu.
By broadcast time, efforts to get a comment from state-owned power utility company ZESCO proved futile. Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
Vice President Inonge Wina has disclosed that Dr. Kenneth Kaunda did not only fight for the country's independence but also endeavored that there was massive development in the country. Speaking when she officiated at Dr. Kaunda's funeral procession in Lusaka at Woodland Stadium, Mrs. Wina says the first Republican president ensured that there was industrialization crusade that saw the construction of nitrogen chemicals of Zambia and Kafue textiles, among other industries. Meanwhile, Her Royal Highness Chieftainess Nkomesha has urged political parties to remain united as the country heads towards the polls. Miriam Kayamba has more in this report.
18 days have passed since Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, Zambia's first Republican president, died on the 17th of June 2021 at the age of 97. Dr. Kaunda, whose body was moved through different towns in Zambia to allow for public mourning, has marked the end of provincial tours pending his burial, scheduled for Wednesday.
If we die, my brothers and sisters, if we live to the Lord.
Monday morning, different dignitaries gathered at the Woodland Stadium to pay their last respect to the man described by many as a selfless leader. Among those in attendance was Our Honor the Vice President Inonge Wina, Lusaka Province Permanent Secretary Elias Kamanga, Her Royal Highness Komesha, the Muslim community, and political leaders. And speaking when she officiated at the funeral procession, Her Honor the Vice President says not only did the founding father of this country fight for the country's independence, but also ensured that there was massive infrastructure development in the country.
That is why, soon after independence, Dr. Kaunda embarks on various national programs and projects.
From the family, this was the message.
What is the main theme of this trip? Maybe God took away the purpose today. So this country was a very part, but things are apart. But since he died, it's a little calm. May God took him away, so that we take a step backwards and rethink, see where we go.
Meanwhile, Her Royal Highness Komesha has urged political players to remain united as the country heads towards elections.
one nation, united people. Even if we are going through elections, elections should not divide us. It is not the constitution that we save ourselves. And the second stage we have to go back to the people and seek for the mandate. If there is change, only the people of Zambia will make that change. Dr. Kaunda died in that casket. But with the question to this country, probably to the government of the Republic of Zambia. When to tell you what happened when he was in prison and kept in prison for 5 months without being told what he did wrong, without being taken to court for him also to answer the charges.
Just like his slogan, One Zambia, One Nation, so will the people of Zambia continue to remember him. Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Action Aid Zambia has noted with great concern the increasing incidences of violence and disorderly conduct associated with political and electoral activities in Nakonde district. The Action Aid Zambia country director has strongly condemned violence as it violates the rights of electorates and compromises the peace of the country. Naluchaziba says political party leaders and players must learn to resolve differences through dialogue and must be tolerant of the divergent views of the other political players as provided for by the democratic values and principles enshrined in the Zambian constitution. Ms. Ziba implores political parties and players to desist from all manner of political and electoral violence that compromises the peace that the country has witnessed over the years. She requests political party leaders to engage their sympathizers to desist from electoral violence and instead provide direction on how to conduct their political activities within the confines of the law. She says they expect the police to fairly enforce the Public Order Act as no one is above the law, further urging young people to refuse to be used as tools of political violence in this year's elections. The Opposition United Party for National Development has blamed the Electoral Commission of Zambia over its failure to send a representative to go and monitor the printing of ballot papers in Dubai. The UPND claims that its representative fulfilled the formalities only to be told at the last minute that his visa could not be accepted as he needed to go through the government-to-government process. Party Secretary General Batuke Menda told a media briefing in Lusaka Monday that what happened goes against the principles of holding free and fair elections. And UPND chairperson for elections, Gary Nkombo, says the party has, however, sent a representative from London to go and monitor the process in Dubai while they are still facilitating the movement of their representative in Zambia. Details in this report.
The Opposition United Party for National Development, UPND, has blamed the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, over its failure to send a representative to go and monitor the printing of ballot papers in Dubai. Party Secretary General Batuke Imenda claims they were assured by the ECZ. He believes the scheme could have been part of a ploy to stop the UPND from monitoring the printing of ballot papers in Dubai.
At ECZ, at which meeting we raised the issue of why our representative was not allowed or given an opportunity to go and observe. He told us that it was not only our person who is still struggling to have his visa approved, but again, like I said earlier on, Mr. Dylan Kasonde was also equally affected, and according to him was key.
He says what happened goes against the principles of holding free and fair elections.
That is represented by very senior people So they are not in any way affected like us. So we felt this was not fair. We felt that was not good, and that we question the whole process and feel that whatever is happening is not fair to us as a party. It is not fair to democracy. It brings us back to a point.
In the meantime, UPND chairperson for elections, Garin Kombo, says the party has however sent a representative from London to go and monitor the process in Dubai while they are still facilitating the movement of their member from Zambia. He has since urged the party to remain calm as modalities have been put in place.
An individual of high standing from London into Dubai in order to catch up with the processes that are ongoing in Dubai. The current situation now is that since our representative, who is standing in for Mr. Njolomba to allow him to travel tonight or tomorrow, is going to be observing what is going on with the printing of the mayoral ballot papers. And we are hopeful that by the time they come to parliamentary, to council, and to the presidential ballot papers, the whole situation would have been contained.
The ECZ could not be reached for a comment by broadcast time. Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
Patriots for Economic Progress President Sean Tembo has alleged that the Patriotic Front government and the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, have been sowing seeds of distrust of the electoral process. Mr. Tembo says the commission, together with the Patriotic Front PF government, must not be shocked with Zambians when Zambians reject the outcome of the 12th August general elections. He explains that he is disheartened over the Commission's continued refusal to sponsor political parties to observe the ongoing printing of ballot papers in Dubai.
We have always argued that ECZ needed to sponsor representatives of political parties because in the first place it is ECZ who decided to take the printing of ballots to Dubai instead of taking it near, either in Zambia or in the region like South Africa, where political parties can be able to easily send representatives there. So we call upon ECZ to reconsider their position and facilitate the observation of the printing process of ballots for opposition political parties. Otherwise, it risks undermining the entire electoral process because it will eventually sow seeds of distrust among the people. Because for as long as there are no independent observers in Dubai, we cannot know how many ballot papers the PF and this government through ECZ will end up printing. And so questions of rigging will always arise.
The People's Alliance for Change PAC has advised citizens not to pay attention to what he has termed as fraudulent election opinion polls being spearheaded by non-reputable organizations. Speaking to Camnet TV News, PAC President Adford Banda says Zambians must instead remain focused on the August 12th elections while analyzing critically political messages during campaigns to make an informed decision. Mr. Banda says hired organizations that are trying to give opinion polls on the outcome of the August 12th elections are not credible as their focus is to sway electorates and pave way for election rigging. He further warned individuals working for such organizations to desist from misleading the people on the purported opinion polls which favored the Patriotic Front as potential winners. Details in this report. On the 4th of July 2021, the Political Association of Zambia, in collaboration with other stakeholders, released an opinion poll in which President Edgar Lungu emerged winner of the 2021 general elections with 44.5% of votes, followed by 30.3% going to Hakainde Hichilema. According to the poll, Fred Membe of the Socialist Party was leading the rest of the opposition at 3%, followed by Dr. Nevis Mumba of the MMD at 2%, with the rest shared amongst the remaining in the race to State House. This, however, is not settled very well amongst most opposition political parties. The People's Alliance for Change, PAC, has advised the people of Zambia not to pay attention to what they have termed as fraudulent election opinion polls being spearheaded by some state-managed organizations with no track record.
These organizations that are coming in to try and give opinion polls on what's going to happen in August are not credible organizations, and they are just stage managed to sway people's minds, to discourage people from voting or to pave way for rigging. We would like to warn those that are actually working with these organizations to ensure that they stop, misleading the people.
On the other hand, New Hope Movement Multi-Party Democracy MMD leader Dr. Nevis Mumba says the opinion poll is simply propaganda meant to sway voters. Also adding their voice to the debate, UPND spokesperson Cornelius Mwetoa says the opinion poll is simply a concoction of the Patriotic Front, urging the public not to panic.
Concoction of the Patriotic Front. I've given you the names of the people who are behind this opinion poll and how they are now panicking, and I'm asking them to disassociate themselves from this state of affairs. So, people out there, maintain the cool in the manner you did over opinion polls that were carried in favor of Rupiah Banda. The people of Zambia want a Zambia. We want a better Zambia. A Zambia of decency, devoid of political violence, cadreism, corruption. A Zambia of food on the table. A Zambia where there is employment.
Liseli Kanyanga Mubanga, Camnet TV News in Lusaka. The opposition leadership movement has charged that the opinion poll launched by Political Science Association of Zambia is baseless, meant to mislead voters. The leadership movement says it is not shaken, adding that as a party, they will not be discouraged by an NGO getting funding from a political party or colonial masters to champion propaganda in Zambia. Party media director Tatila says the August 12th poll are not about opinion polls, t-shirts and songs, but things that matter like employment and business opportunities for citizens.
We are concerned with the opinion poll that has been produced, conducted by the Political Science Association of Zambia. But before they even tell us about the results, where they gave all the presidential candidates 0%, some were given 2%, some were given 1%, even those that participated in the by-election. So I think for us as the leadership movement, we are not shaken, and our campaign, our journey in this particular time of election is not t-shirt, it's not opinion poll, it's not handout, it's not music. I think we are focused, and our focus to our members is that they are decided they need to vote for Dr. Richard Silumbe, his running mate, the MPs and the councillors. So I think before this organization can tell us about the opinion poll, they need to disclose their funders.
The government, through the Ministry of Health, has acquired additional doses of the ASTRAZENECA vaccine donated by the French government through the COVAX facility. Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary, Technical Services, Dr. Kennedy Malama, says the consignment won and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine in August. More in this report. As the COVID-19 virus continues to ravage the globe, with Zambia being no exception, the effects can be seen from the adjustment in the way of life for many and the number of people who have succumbed to the virus. Efforts to fight the virus are underway as the Ministry of Health has secured 228,000 additional doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine donated by the French government through the COVAX facility. The Emirates plane carrying the vaccines touched down the afternoon of the 5th of July 2021 at 14:25 hours at the Kenneth Kaunda International Airport. The Ministry of Health says through its Permanent Secretary for Technical Services, Dr. Kennedy Malama, that the consignment received is enough to cover the remaining ASTRAZENECA dose second patients, as well as start the next cohort of those yet to receive the first dose. The Ministry of Health has further noted with concern the congestion at health facilities as a result of the vaccinations going on, and says it is in the process of removing them by taking the site to more conducive sites riding on existing infrastructure in communities. In the last 24 hours, 1,231 new confirmed COVID-19 cases out of 4,662 tests conducted, bringing the total number of confirmed cases recorded to 165,513. The country further recorded 49 COVID-19 patients' deaths in the last 24 hours, classified as 44 COVID-19 deaths and 5 COVID-19 associated deaths, bringing the cumulative number of recoveries to 145,908. The country currently has 17,113 active cases. Liseli Kanyanga Mubanga, Camnet TV News in Lusaka. We take our first set of commercials to stay with us as we still have more interesting stories lined up for you.
Good day to you, our dear esteemed customers. As ZAMBIA, we're glad to bring something of excitement to you, and it's a promotion we've dubbed Yatu, which simply means it's yours. And in this promotion, we're giving benefits that are tailored to you specifically as a customer, depending on the profile or the segment that you're sitting on as a customer. And in this promotion, we are saying you will get from as low as 13 ngwe benefits amounting to over 500%. And it's all for you so that you get more benefits. So to know more about Yatu, stay on.
Yatu is a promotion that offers ZAMBIA customers amazing benefits that are made just for you. ZAMBIA customers will get amazing benefits of over 500% bonus back the value that they use when they subscribe to a Yatu offer. Yatu benefits will be usable for ZAMBIA to ZAMBIA calls, ZAMBIA to ZAMBIA SMSs, and browsing on pay-as-you-go defined rates. For you to access the amazing Yatu offers, all you have to do is dial *335# and select option 1 to purchase the offer that best suits you. ZAMBIA customers will have the ability to actually purchase the Yatu benefit more than once. So this means you can purchase the offer twice, you can purchase the offer 3 times, and the benefits will be accumulative at the end of the day. Yatu benefits will be able to be redeemed if you subscribe to the same offer within a 5-day period. So if you have unused benefits from the previous day and the expiry date comes, you can still subscribe to the same offer within 5 days and your benefits will be able to accumulate. How amazing is that? For you to check your Yatu benefit balance, all you have to do is dial *335# and select option 2 and you'll be able to see your current balance.
Lungu and the Patriotic Front have transformed the transportation sector by facilitating the construction of bus stations around the country. Vote for Edgar Chagwa Lungu and the PF that have brought you change.
In this fast-paced era of industrial boom and population growth, there is need to invest in smart ways of managing electricity and water consumption and reducing utility billing costs associated with the postpaid billing system. At Savenda Electronics, we manufacture right here in Zambia different types of high-quality smart electricity and water meters to customer specifications. Savenda Electronics water and electricity meters help you monitor your usage and gives notifications such as low units, tampering, low battery, and many other features. These easy-to-use meters makes it easier to buy units even in these COVID times and top up just from the comfort of your space. Favorable contract terms are available to both electricity and water utilities. For more details, get in touch with us on the following numbers: 0956 580 349 or 0977 498 318. Savenda Electronics, the real deal.
At Master Signs, our services range from outdoor, indoor signage such as billboards, banners, 3D light boxes, pylons and neon signs. We are located at plot number 397A, Makeni Road, Lusaka, at Oryx Filling Station. For more details, call us on +260 967 100 090 or +260 966 999 981, or better still, email us at infomastersign@gmail.com. Master Sign, we will make it shine. 2021 has been described as a highly politically charged year. This is because every 5 years the country goes to the polls, and that 5 years elapses. With only a few months remaining down to the ballot, the battlefield to appear on the ballot is becoming fertile. A lot of people are expressing interest of appearing on the ballot.
In all this, our interest is to put the duty bearers, the leaders, and those aspiring to task by asking the relevant questions.
If you're an aspiring candidate, be it councillor, mayor, or member of parliament, get in touch with us to get yourself on the verdict.
We go beyond speculation in dealing with policy and governance issues. The right questions are asked to help you make a verdict.
For more details, you can call us on 0962 965883, 0979 753010, or email us info@camnettvafrica.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Join us on Camnet TV
every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday at 17:45 hours
on a new program dubbed The Verdict.
Remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We continue with the news. The Lusaka City Council, LCC, has in the last 24 hours revoked 50 trading licenses for various business premises that include bars, nightclubs, lodges, restaurants and casinos for various offences. The business premises were in violation of operational guidelines, including consumption of alcohol on site and having clients enclosed in poorly ventilated spaces. They will be required to appear before the fast-track court by Thursday, the 8th of July 2021 at the Lusaka City Council. Details in this report. While so much emphasis has been placed on following the 5 golden rules, for some it sounds like mere rhetoric as they continue to disregard them. It is to this effect that the Lusaka City Council inspected business premises, including bars, nightclubs, lodges, restaurants and casinos in the last 24 hours, of which 50 were found to be in violation of the operational guidelines, including consumption of alcohol on site and having clients enclosed in poorly ventilated spaces. According to the council's public relations manager, Mwaka Nakweti, businesses were served with notices, closed and their licenses revoked, and are expected to appear before the fast-track court by Thursday at the Lusaka City Council.
As Lusaka City Council, we have closed 50 bars, nightclubs and restaurants that were found annulling COVID-19 guidelines across the city. This follows a joint operation that we conducted together with the Ministry of Health as well as State and Council Police in Lusaka last evening. The operation revealed that despite calls from the local authorities for compliance towards COVID-19 guidelines, some bars, nightclubs and restaurants were still operating with no regard to public health guidelines whatsoever. The local authority will continue conducting inspections in all the constituencies, and those found abrogating the COVID-19 measures that have been set by government risk having their licenses revoked. We therefore urge business owners to adhere to the set preventive measures. The local authority will not relax in enforcing measures that will help fight against COVID-19 in the city.
The Ministry of Health has therefore urged members of the public to avoid such super spreader sites to save their own lives and those of their loved ones. As one of the surest ways of acquiring the COVID-19 is by going to such places. The ministry has further stated that business interests will not be placed above health and safety of Zambians. Liseli Kanyanga Mubanga, Camnet TV News in Lusaka. Governance activist Lewis Mwape has charged that there is need for local authorities such as the Lusaka City Council to take full control of local assets in public places. In an interview with Camnet TV, Mr. Mwape states that it is unfortunate to note how cadres are collecting fees that are meant to be collected by the local authority. He says it is high time that the country condemns behaviors portrayed by cadres in public bus stations and marketplaces where they harass innocent citizens and collect money meant for local authorities. He adds that there is no way a cadre can be collecting market fees when the body in charge is available.
All the cadres, if we are not removing them, we retrain them and give them the jobs so that we have a system that is free of intimidation. From there, then we can go out to look at what policies guide for example, the market policy. So we need to ensure that the local authorities need to take control of local authority assets, the public assets, like the markets, like the bus stations, and all the trading areas. So, as being empowered by the Local Government Act, the local authorities are supposed to take control because we only get revenues which are plowed back to better the environment. So when the local authority gets those revenues, later on they go back and clean the market, reinstall the lights and others, so that the service delivery is improved. So if that money goes to the cadres, it means that that is pure criminality, and the powers that be needs to ensure that that is curtailed, because there is no way we can continue to lose money even in the broad daylight through the collection revenues system which is collected by the cadres.
Enlight Abilities through funding from Irish Aid has empowered Shikondi Group with 200 chickens worth more than 26,000 kwacha and the Mawa Children with Disabilities Economic Support Project. Enlight Abilities Chief Executive Officer Muyoba Hamuyua says the empowerment is aimed at improving the quality of life for 20 mothers with children born with disabilities. Mr. Hamuyua has employed the beneficiaries from Gonda area to use the donation accordingly. More in this report.
Taking care of the child born with a disability requires a lot of love and care, but above all that, a stable income. About 20 mothers from Gonda area in Chipata district are taking care of children born with disabilities. Enlight Abilities, with the support from the Irish Head, has empowered Chikondi Group of Gonda area in Chipata district with 200 village chickens worth more than 26,000.
To us as Enlight Abilities, this is a game changer. We expect them to handle this opportunity to the maximum. We want them to be the role model. We want them to prove to the society that the parents of children with abilities or families of people with abilities, they could also be productive. All that they need is to be given an opportunity, the platform. And here in Enlight Abilities, through funding from the Irish Aid, we have given them the platform.
The handover ceremony was graced by Gonda Barracks Commanding Officer Lieutenant Siseo Kanimba.
This project we are witnessing today, it is aimed to improve the quality of 20 mothers with children with disabilities in poor households through a sustainability, increasing production and income from their backyard village cooperative. The objectives of this project: one, is to increase on-farm chicken production through adopting improved poultry husbandry skills and knowledge. To acquire 200 hens and 20 cockerels for free-range chicken and to provide them to the mothers with children with the disabilities. Also, it is there to increase the incomes of the beneficiary households.
And Inlight Abilities Project Manager Barnabas Chitalu outlined the objective of the project.
To realize those benefits, I think we need to show commitment. Benefits are so immense from this chicken project. So they will give us the eggs, chickens themselves we can sell and earn income. We can also utilize the manure coming from the project to produce organic vegetables.
This is a vote of thanks given by Chikondi Group Chair Lady. Sylvester Shimba for Zanis, in Chipata District, Eastern Province.
Some agro-business owners in Lusaka have expressed concern about the increase in the price of fertilizer. Speaking to Camnet News in an interview today, Farmers Barn Limited manager Ernest Banda disclosed that most farmers cannot afford to buy the commodity. He says in the wake of the slow economic activities, agro-businesses are making losses, thus calling the government to stabilize the economy. More in this report.
The agriculture sector continues to be a major contributor to Zambia's gross domestic product, GDP. It is also one of the major employers in Zambia, currently constituting almost half the total workforce in Zambia. The agro-processing sector in Zambia generally is one of the most important sectors that has experienced precedented growth in terms of production and export performance in the recent years. However, some agro-business owners have expressed concern on the increase in the prices of fertilizer.
The price of fertilizer has gone up. It has gone up and the people are buying, the farmers are buying, despite that they are complaining that the commodity has really gone up. It is affecting us, it is also affecting the farmers because this will affect the price of their crop. Because when they buy the expensive input, it means when selling, they expect the selling price to go up as well. So this is affecting them. Whatever is affecting the farmer is affecting us as the agro dealer as well. So like any other product, fertilizer has gone up. But despite it going up, customers are still buying.
The business owners have also stated that this development has greatly affected the growth of their businesses because the demand is high and the supply is low.
The price right now in our shop it's at 680. Farmers are bound to buy because they actually use it. They have got no option to buy. Yeah, they're supposed to buy. And for the farmers that have got money are buying. If others it's hard, they're buying these repacks that we're doing. This is what we do, repacks. And for our business, it's affected our business in a way because we're getting less buyers now than before.
The agro-processing sub-sector basically provides an opportunity for producers to engage in small-scale processing. Blessings Chakwila, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Colombia's President Ivan Marquez has sent a message of condolences to President Edgar Lungu following the death of Zambia's first president, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. Speaking from Bogota when he received letters of credence from Zambia's ambassador to Brazil with extra accreditation to Colombia, Dr. Alfreda Kansembe Mwamba, and President Marquez said Colombia is saddened by the demise of Dr. Kaunda. Speaking during a virtual ceremony, Mr. Marquez said he sympathizes with the Zambian people for the loss of the founding president who fought so hard for Zambia's independence. Mr. Marquez further paid tribute to Zambia for its commitment towards deepening economic cooperation with Colombia. The Colombian leader said his government is committed to building a strong diplomatic relationship with Zambia rooted in tourism and trade investments. President Marquez assured Dr. Kansembe Mwamba that his Zambia's government stands ready to receive Zambia and Colombia to commence trade negotiations. And Dr. Kasembe Mwamba said Zambia is geared towards promoting stronger bilateral relations with Colombia. This was contained in a statement issued by Grace Makowani, First Secretary, Press and Public Relations, Zambian Embassy in Brazil. The Golden Party of Zambia has described as unfortunate the lack of adequate schools in Mutundu and Kafue wards of Mufulira Central Constituency 57 years after the country's independence. GPZ parliamentary candidate Mufulira Central Constituency regrets that school-going children are forced to walk very long distances to access what resembles school facilities. Jackson Silavwe claims that some reports indicate that children have been delaying to start school at the age of 6 to 7 years until when they reach 12 to 14 years for them to be able to walk alone to and from school through the thick bushes. He notes that Zambia has over 55,000 unemployed trained teachers seeking employment. Mr. Silavwe says education is the best equalizer, thus urging government to match its pronouncements with actions in the education sector. We now take another set of commercials to stay with us as we still have more interesting stories lined up for you.
I was born in Mwengwa in a grass-thatched house. I went to school barefoot and then to secondary school. University came, all of this on government bursary, on the sponsorship of the people of Zambia. Many people ask me questions. Why have you continued to seek public office? You've been arrested 15 times. This fight is not about Hakainde. It's about 18 million Zambians who want a better life. I'm standing for the presidency of this country because I know and I believe that this country is so rich and yet its people live in poverty. I am standing for that child to have an opportunity to go to school the way I did myself. It's time for change. Zambians have suffered enough. I'm Hakainde Hichilema. I invite you to take my hand. Together, we will build a better land for every Zambian.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962-642-490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
For me, means hard work. Going to sell my goods at the local market. To get more customers, I have my secret. Oracle Pure Glycerin. It's soft, smooth, and keeps my skin perfect. And my customers know it. Thank you, Oracle, for my perfect skin.
Harry Mwanga Nkumbula International Airport, located just 15 kilometers from the Victoria Falls, is now one of the best and busiest airports that Zambia has. Vote for Edgar Chagwa and the PF that have brought you change.
Zambia has embarked on an economic journey for individual financial emancipation, empowering its citizens through land acquisition and developing the nation through agriculture. This time, Zambians are coming together, taking it upon themselves with the help of government to develop this great nation by taking individual responsibility and ownership of this great nation. The economic revolution has started. There are thousands of Zambians with a can-do mindset who are resolute, unstoppable, full of confidence and conviction that Zambia's set time of favor for development is now. Don't be left out. This could be the time you have been waiting for. Camnet Television, in conjunction with the United Agrivision Consultancy Limited, will be hosting a national conference on becoming a millionaire through agriculture. Date 1st October and 2nd October 2021. Charges 750 kwacha per person per day, that includes lunch. A limited number of participants through Zoom have also been reserved. You can also be part of the conference from the comfort of your home by registering online via Zoom, joining the people who were born for greatness. Charges for participation via Zoom are only 300 kwacha per person. Time 0730 hours to 17 hours. Registration and confirmation of attendance will take place on the 29th of September 2021. Time 14 hours to 17 hours. Venue the Healing Word Ministries International, the home of Camnet Television in Apex Hill, Kabulonga Road, Lusaka.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We continue with the news. In international news, supporters of former South African President Jacob Zuma seem not to be backing down as they continue their solidarity with Zuma. Hundreds of them, including some who traveled more than 400 kilometers, gathered outside Zuma's rural home in the KwaZulu-Natal province and vowed to prevent attempts to arrest him. Clad in the ruling African National Congress ANC party regalia bearing Zuma's portrait and t-shirts with the question in Zulu, Wenzeni uZuma, meaning what has Zuma done? They sang songs praising Zuma as a hero of the 1980s struggle against white minority rule. Last week, South Africa's top court slapped a 15-month jail time on the former president for defying a court order to testify before a graft commission. Meanwhile, 300 healthcare workers in Italy have lodged a legal challenge against the requirement that they get vaccinated against coronavirus. The case, brought by professionals throughout northern Italy, will be heard on the 14th of July. Still in global news, a humanitarian aid from Portugal and Italy begins to arrive in Mozambique to support the populations affected by the conflict in Cabo Delgado. The first of 3 planned flights landed on Saturday. The people of Cabo Delgado province, terrorized for more than 3 years by extremists, are living in a dramatic situation. The humanitarian situation in Mozambique and especially in Cabo Delgado province is deteriorating rapidly. Almost 2 million people face food shortages due to the security problem in the region. Here's a roundup in international news stories.
In South Africa, supporters of former President Jacob Zuma seem not to be backing down as they continue their solidarity with Zuma. On Sunday, July the 4th, the 79-year-old told hundreds of his supporters who gathered outside his rural home that he was appealing a prison sentence.
I'm not asking for sympathy, but justice. My age and health condition and any other mitigating circumstances were not considered when the imprisonment was decided.
Are you going to use this media? Zuma's deadline to turn himself in as ordered by the court expired Sunday. Now, he could likely face a possible arrest.
Sending me to jail during the height of a pandemic at my age is the same as sentencing me to death.
ZUMA supporters continue to be defiant. On Tuesday, ZUMA will apply for an interdict to stop the police from arresting him, his foundation says. Humanitarian aid from Portugal and Italy begins to arrive in Mozambique to support the population affected by the conflict in Cabo Delgado. The first of 3 planned flights landed on Saturday. The Portuguese Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs and Cooperation calls on other EU member states to get involved. The attitude of Portugal and Italy to take the initial step is very important because we would like to mobilize other member states to do the same. It's very important that EU and non-EU states join us in this effort to help the people of Mozambique, especially in Cabo Delgado. The people of Cabo Delgado province, terrorized for more than 3 years by extremists, are living a dramatic situation. There are no basic conditions of survival, food, shelters, and other types of basic needs that are necessary to have a decent life. The humanitarian situation in Mozambique and especially in Cabo Delgado province is deteriorating rapidly. Almost 2 million people face food shortages due to the security problem in the region. Added to this challenge are a severe drought, an impact which is still being felt from the bad weather that hit the country and COVID-19. The escalating violence alone has led to more than 700,000 people having to flee their land and are now IDPs.
Well, here in Italy, the government of Prime Minister Mario Draghi had signed a decree that came into effect back on the 1st of April of this year, which essentially made it mandatory for all healthcare workers and pharmacy workers to be vaccinated against COVID-19. And those who said no to such an obligation essentially were reassigned into roles in which they had no contact with patients. And if that was not an option, they would be suspended without pay. Now, the reason why they decided to do this was essentially because they wanted to prevent against outbreaks and clusters developing, because, for instance, they had noted that clusters developed particularly in care homes for the aged, and it was linked to care workers that were not vaccinated. The Italian Federation of Doctors and Dentists had said that they were in support of such a move, and they said they wanted it to go even further to make it easier and faster to suspend those that were not vaccinated. Now, this decree will be valid till the 31st of December this year, and it remains to be seen whether it will be extended beyond that time frame.
We now get into sports news. AZAM FC has confirmed the signing of Cape Town midfielder Charles Zulu on a 2-year contract. The Zambian international Zulu was playing for Cape Town United of South Africa. The Tanzanian club confirmed the development in the media. And in athletics, Katrina Johnson-Thompson will step up her return from injury at the British Grand Prix, where she will compete in the long jump on the 13th of July. The world champion will face German gold medalist Malaika Mihambo in Getsched. Fellow Britons Jasmine Swayers and Abigail will also be competing at the event. Johnson-Thompson, 28, recorded a 1.84 meters high jump at a meeting in France last week. And in rugby, England flanker Tom Carey will make his first appearance for the British and Irish Lions, while Ireland's Ian will be captain against the Sharks in Johannesburg on Wednesday. Wales lock Adam Beard and back row Josh Navidi will also make their debuts after being called up as replacements. Sam Simmons will make his first international start in 3 years. Head coach Warren Gatland says there is a huge competition for a place in the test side in the back row. Well, that sports item brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, a recap of the headlines. 228,000 additional doses of ASTRAZENECA vaccine arrive in Zambia. 50 Lusaka business operators lose trading licenses for defying COVID-19 guidelines. Opposition political parties downplay the new opinion poll tipping the PF to win elections. And in international news, ZUMA claims sending him to jail at his age is equivalent to a death sentence. And in sports news, Charles ZULU pens 2-year deal with AZAM FC. We now look at the Camnet verse of the day, which is coming from the book of Psalms 100, verse 4 to 5, and it reads, "Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and praise his name. For Yahweh is good and his love is eternal. His faithfulness endures through all generations." On behalf of the entire news production crew and myself, Liseli Kanyanga Mubanga, thank you so much for watching Camnet TV News on Camnet TV, not just another channel.